everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Tuesday, February 10th. I'm your host, Bree Cox Kennedy, bringing all the energy I can possibly muster up. I had about 3 or 4 owls who decided they were going to be night owls at 3 in the morning. I think the mom started and the kids chimed in, and they were having this conversation for at least an hour and a half. I don't know if anybody knows what I can do about that, but if you do, let me know. Because today's show is all about education. We've got Pacific Financial Planners with Jerry Schlutzowitz and Democratic Club with Jean Lepowski and Sue Deering. We're going to be talking about all things education from financial to scholastic. So stay tuned for those 2 guests on today's show. But first, folks, Valentine's dinner dance is quickly approaching. Of course, Valentine's Day is Saturday, February 14th. It's going to be taking place at Clubhouse 5. Doors open at 5. There will be dinner and GRF No Host Bar at 5:30 p.m. Close Harmony performs at 6:30 p.m. The event is going to be catered by Martinez. Got a great menu there. Tickets are $55. They are on sale now in the Clubhouse 5 box office. If you want some more information, you can call Recreation at 949-597-4382, or you can always email them, recreation@vmsinc.org. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast, folks. We are starting the week here. It's already Tuesday, I can't believe that. The cool and cloudy note with daytime highs today just peaking around 64 degrees. Overnight lows holding in the mid-50s, but that also brings some thick clouds, which also brings a little bit of rain. So we can probably expect that rain to start at 12 p.m. going through 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then by Thursday, it looks like we might be turning the corner a little bit. We see a mix of clouds and sunshine as it moves up into mostly sunny skies on Friday for a high of 70. So hopefully it'll level out over the weekend so you can get out there and do everything you love outdoors. Sunrise this morning was at 6:39 a.m. Sunset will be at 5:30 p.m. Gorgeous photo. Sunset and moonrise taken there from 19 Restaurant. Photo was taken by Lori Malawa. Thank you, Lori, for sending that in. We'd love to see everyone's photos, so please keep those coming. Please email those to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Please send us your name, where the photo was taken from, and in a horizontal format, please. Just 2 meetings to tell you about before we head on over to the break, and when we come back, Pacific Financial Planners will be with me.
You've changed. That sparkle in your eyes is gone. Your smile is just a careless yawn. You're breaking.
Lady Ain't Singing No Blues, a Billie Holiday story and musical featuring Miss Leslie McCurdy, Sunday, March 22nd, 4 p.m. at the PAC. Tickets at the PAC box office.
At Petwell Clinic, your local fast relief pet care clinic, there's no waiting days for an appointment. Just walk in when your pet needs care. From the moment you arrive, you'll feel our commitment to openness and service excellence. You remain by your pet's side throughout their visit, and all charges are clearly explained, so there are no surprises at checkout. Serving Laguna Woods Village, we are committed to kind and accessible pet care. Petwell Clinic, your most convenient option for quality pet care.
For years, Meineke has proudly served the Laguna Woods community. At our auto repair shop in Lake Forest, we offer a variety of services and repairs so that you can count on Meineke for all of your vehicle's needs. Whether it's a regular tune-up or more significant damage, our technicians are here to deliver top-quality workmanship. When you visit us, we'll ensure quick and efficient service so you can get back to your day without delay. Visit us today for unparalleled service.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Here to help us understand financial education, which is always an ongoing educational process, right, Jerry Schlutzowitz, principal of Pacific Financial Planners. Welcome to the show.
Well, Bree, thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Well, we always have to have you on here because we're constantly learning, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It is a never-changing landscape.
Well, we never want to fall behind either.
Right.
Right, because this is such an important topic, especially with our demographic and our viewers. You work with retirees every day.
Absolutely. I mean, that's
Right.
it's a different. It is a demographic in itself that has to be invested differently. You're absolutely
Right,
correct.
Right. So what is the biggest mistake that you're seeing investors make right now?
Well, what I see, and I meet with investors here in the village, and I've focused on the retirement market for well over 30 years, since the 1989. Working with people here in the village and retirees across Southern California when I did radio. And the biggest thing that I see is many retirees are still investing the same as when they were 35, 45, 55. They have growth-styled investments when they need income and safety styled management.
Right.
And there's this mind shift when you retire and give up your paycheck, or many people in the village are still maybe working or working on the side, but at some point in time that paycheck goes away. How do you replace that paycheck? And where's it going to come from? It's got to come from your money. So you got to have a plan for that, creating a retirement paycheck, so to speak.
Yeah, and sometimes we just sort of get caught up in our habits, right? And we don't really think about, should I be making the same choices as I did 20 years ago?
Well, that's where financial education comes in, because there's no education on the subject. People don't understand it. They don't know what they're supposed to do. And the biggest thing is it's a mind shift when you retire. There's a few stages of your life, right? You're born, great. You graduate college or high school or whatever it is, and you get into the working world. Okay, that's a big shift from, I was going to school all the time to now I got to pay for my own, rent, mortgage, et cetera. But you don't have any money generally, so when you don't have nothing, you don't have nothing to lose. The old song goes, right? But the next one is retirement. You've gone from working all this period of time to giving up your paycheck. So what do you need? You need some sort of income strategy and some sort of a protection strategy. So if you invest the same like you did then, you have no guardrails. You're going for growth, and you need the market to catch up.
So what are you telling people who've invested in the market without having cash in the bank?
Well, they need to come up with a plan to exit. They have to have an exit strategy. See, people think that when you invest in the market, it goes up, it goes down, and there's nothing we could do about it. Absolutely wrong. You absolutely control your participation. How much do you participate? All of your money at risk, some of your money at risk, none of your money at risk. You want to control the risk that you do have in the market. You want to have guardrails, something called a stop loss. So if the market's going up, great, you can ride it up and you keep raising the stop loss, and it means exactly that. If it starts to go down again, you don't lose all of your gain. Or when you start investing, or if you have never used stop losses, you start today and say, how much money am I willing to lose? I met someone recently, the gentleman had $400,000, right? And he had it all in stocks. And he's 68 years old, still working. His wife's 72, she's still working. So they're okay because they're still making money. But that's not going to go on forever when you're 68 and 72. And all his money was at risk in the market. And I said, what's your risk plan? And he just looked at me. He didn't understand. I go, well, how would you feel if you lost $100,000? That's 20%. And he said, no one wants to lose $100,000. I go, exactly, not at 68, because you don't have the opportunity to make it back up.
Right.
You have no guardrails. Can you imagine driving on a mountain? There's just steep cliffs. Wouldn't you feel better if there was a guardrail there?
Absolutely.
People should add a guardrail to their investment portfolios. I see it all the time. People in the village don't have that.
Kind of that hope and pray, right?
It's a bad strategy.
Yeah.
Praying's good, hoping's great, it doesn't help
Right.
your portfolio.
Right. And what would you say to those people who just think that that portfolio is going to continue to increase, and they really don't consider you might have that $100,000 drop or
Look, if you
loss?
think it's going to continue to increase indefinitely, then you have zero market experience. You don't know market history. that between 2000 and 2014, the S&P 500 did not make any money. And if you're withdrawing against that, as it's fluctuating below the highs, then you're drawing your money down quicker because you need to have an income strategy. Where are you drawing your income, okay? So income comes from, obviously if you have a pension, Social Security, if you're still working, great. But otherwise it comes from your investments. Well, you can put it in the banks, you can put it in bonds, you can put it in annuities and get guarantees. Or you could put it in stocks and REITs and mutual funds and ETFs, and now you have risk. So how much money do you want to depend on market performance? How much risk do you want to take? You want to risk all your money? You want to risk some of your money, or should you at your age maybe risk none of your money? And different people have got to answer that based on their own proclivity towards risk. But I take a bucket approach and move the money into different buckets, some at risk, some completely safe, some liquid, some to pay you every single day to make sure that you have create your own retirement paycheck to supplement Social Security and pensions that you may or may not have. So not all money has the same job. So we divide it up. Most people look at, I got a pile of money.
Right.
That's all they look at. So their financial protection is, well, I got this pile of money. We separate it out with different purposes and different risk approaches to it. And again, we can match no risk, some risk, but most people have all risk and they shouldn't have it that way.
Well, isn't it because all of those buckets seem like it can get really confusing? You don't really know or understand exactly everything that they can use for their advantage, right? And they just think, oh, well, forget it. I'm just going to put it here because I don't have the brain power or the bandwidth to understand all of these buckets, which is where you come in.
Bree, exactly. I mean, I'll bet delivering a baby would be really confusing to someone like myself or you, okay? Like all of a sudden someone's having a baby right in front of you and you're gonna come out now. Right. I wouldn't know what to do, all right? I'm not an expert. That's why you gotta bring in an expert and have them help you, okay? You've gotta understand risk. You gotta look for the red flags. And how do you do it? You review your portfolio. You get someone to say, hey, look, let's sit down and let's make sure I understand my risk with my portfolio. What could happen to me? Because the world's not linear, and we know that there's a lot of risk out there today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think the bigger risk is not knowing, right? Just, again, on that hope and pray. So, but if they would just come in and see you and get the analysis of their portfolio, then you could actually put their mind at ease, right?
Look, I've been doing this 4 decades. Most people don't know. Okay? It's just like I'm not going to go become a physics professor at UCLA next week. They're not going to hire me. I don't have the experience. Managing your money, you only get one shot at retirement. Don't you think you ought to get it right? I think so. So you don't know everything. Right. Talk to somebody who does. Talk to 2 or 3 people and get their opinions and then make your own decisions. That's the way to do it because you need to understand risk, just like the gentleman I told you about that had the money. He didn't even know what I was talking about. Yeah. Manage risk. What a concept. Right. It's when you sell, Bree, that you make the money. You can buy anything you want. Buy it at 25, it goes to 100, it goes back to 10. It wasn't a good investment, even though it was once at 100. It's when you sell that matters.
Well, speaking of risk, I want to wrap it up real quick, but how can people avoid the risk of fraud?
We've got the Financial Forum Thursday, 3 to 5 p.m., Clubhouse 7. And we've got a special guest to come in from the Orange County Council on Aging. She's part of the financial abuse specialist team. She's a senior fraud spokesperson for the Council on Aging. She's going to talk about what are all the current scams and frauds. Oh, anyone can come. It's open to everybody. Coffee and cookies. I think we're going to have a full room.
I hope you have a full room because it is rampant and they are constantly elevating their ability to hide.
She's got handouts. Yeah. It's a great presentation. Bring a friend. Kelly Rossi, Orange County Council on Aging. She's going to be great.
Awesome. Jerry, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Coming up next, we'll have the Democratic Club. Stay with me.
Are you looking to boost your financial knowledge in a friendly, relaxed setting? Join us at the Financial Forum Club, where we tackle important money matters together. The second Thursday of every month from 3 to 5 p.m. in Clubhouse 7. No RSVP is required. Come to learn, share, or just listen. Coffee and cookies are on us. The Financial Forum Club, your community, your future, your financial education.
Hospice isn't about giving up, it's about showing up with compassion, expertise, and heart.
We care for the whole person, mind, body, and spirit, helping patients live each day to the fullest.
We walk with patients and families every step of the way because what we do is more than medicine. It's honoring every moment together.
Orange Hospice, with you, with heart, always. Please call us or visit orangehospice.net.
For nearly 40 years, Pacific Cardiovascular Associates has been the leading cardiovascular clinic serving Laguna Hills and Laguna Woods. At PCA, our board-certified heart specialists provide compassionate care, from initial consultations to routine follow-ups and more. We offer echocardiograms, stress tests, vascular studies, and pacemaker checks, all in one convenient location. With free parking and full wheelchair accessibility, PCA makes care easier than ever. Visit our website or give us a call to schedule your appointment today.
Your face tells a story. Is it telling the one that reflects your vitality, youth, and energy? At Orange County Plastic Surgery, Dr. Yuris Bunkus and Dr. Deborah Ekstrom bring a combined 80 years of expertise to your cosmetic consultation. We offer a full array of procedures for every need and budget, with financing options available to put your plan within reach. Located in Newport Beach, make an appointment so you can put your face forward with confidence. Call now for a free consultation with one of the OC's best plastic surgeons to help you look and feel better.
We are still talking about my owl traumatized from the owls last night. But I digress. I welcome Jean and Sue from the Democratic Club. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you guys in a couple of months, so you got to catch me up. All things Democrat Club. What's going on?
Okay, well, the first thing I want to talk about is our next meeting, which is February 17th at 7 o'clock in Clubhouse 2. And our featured speaker will be Shireen Smith. And the reason that we're having her, she's a former superintendent of schools, is because the primary is coming up in June, and some of the races are actually finished in the primary, and the Board of Education is one of them, and others can be finished if the candidate receives more than 50%. Anyway, Shireen Smith is a product of California Public Schools. She worked her way up from a teacher to a principal to a superintendent to a university professor, and she is going to speak about the current OC Board of Education. The reason that she's going to be speaking about that is that she did run for Board of Education. Unfortunately, she lost. And the current Board of Education has they're all Republicans. It's nonpartisan, but they are all Republicans. And they were mostly funded by charter school organizations. And they received $700,000 in charter school contributions. And there is no limit to what the Board of Education candidates can receive, which is very unusual because most candidates have limits as to what they can receive. But anyway, she's going to talk about that and their agenda and the rise of Christian nationalism in school boards and the rise of charter schools in Orange County, et cetera. And it should be very interesting.
Okay. And do you have to be a member of the Democrat Club to attend the meeting?
No, you don't. It costs $5 for people who are not members, but we encourage people to join when they come, and then they don't have to pay the extra $5. Mm-hmm. So it's open to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then let's give the details. Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm. In Clubhouse 2.
Clubhouse 2.
And you can arrive early at 6:30. That's when the doors open. And there will be a couple other speakers speaking for a few minutes. And perhaps Jean could.
Yeah, but there's a Democratic candidate running for Orange County Board of Education. He will be there to introduce himself. And we're also going to have at least one representative from one of the various advocacy groups for public education in Orange County. So the whole focus is public education at that meeting.
So any idea what their agendas are going forward for the next year or two?
Well, as far as the candidates, that I couldn't tell you,
No, not sure.
but they will make that statement at the meeting, or we can ask them when they're chatting with them. So, and that's one of the other things about our meetings is almost always we allow for questions from the audience. We always ask our speakers. We always allow people to ask our speakers questions, and we get in as many questions as we can, because we think that's so important to have, give people the opportunity to interact with candidates who are going to be representing them. So that's
absolutely. You need to
key.
Extract as much information as you possibly can.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly, and let them know, how we feel, how we think, and what we'd like to see from them.
Right.
Which the other side of it is also very important.
You were going to say something?
Well, as far as the importance of the primary, Jean was going to talk about the pre-endorsement process, which is part of the California Democratic Party, and what role the Laguna Woods Democrats had in that process.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
when I had the-
And that goes back to, letting candidates know how we feel. And so, yeah, we finished, we had the pre-endorsement conference.
Now, was that the AD 72 that you mentioned?
Yes, yes, that's where we voted on whether we want to endorse Chris Kluwe for AD 72, and Dave Min is our other candidate that we can opine on, and he is, because he's an incumbent, he's on the consent calendar, which means that at the Democratic statewide conference, which is on February 20th, there's a whole list of candidates who are incumbents who are presented to vote on as a group, okay? And if somebody or some group of representatives feels that that candidate should not be included on the consent calendar, then they are removed. But the assumption is going forward, incumbents are included on the consent calendar.
I see.
And we had 27 representatives at that meeting.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which it goes by the size of the club, of the charter Democratic Club, and that's one of the advantages of being a chartered club, is that we get to have a voice in this important process, in the process of who the state party decides to endorse as a candidate.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so we feel really strongly about communication between our elected representatives and our voters.
Right.
And that's what we're encouraging all the time in our club members. Another thing that's happening right now with regard to endorsements is that the county party representatives, including the ones from our club, are voting on, or will be voting on the county party's endorsement. So there are club endorsements, and then there are county parties endorsements, and then there's state endorsements, and that ends up being where we come down on what we as a club can publicly endorse, and according to our charter
You guys
rules.
have a busy club there. Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Oh, we did want to mention the protest on March 8th.
Yeah, we're in our protest garb.
You guys are
because we wanna
protesting
make sure. Yeah, so March 8th, you want to talk about the?
March 8th at the corner of El Toro on Paseo de Valencia from 11 to 1.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Always
Bree.
a pleasure to see you. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next, we'll have some announcements and what's on tomorrow's show. Stay with me.
Adapt to It, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to It has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to It sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
What would it feel like to hear better? Many people are trapped in the isolation of poor hearing and don't realize it. Even people that are wearing other hearing aids. They only know the way they hear, not how much better they could be hearing. We've taken patients that were hearing 24% of conversations and improved them to 92%. A life-changing difference. Put on these hearing aids and hear better, automatically. No buttons to push or technology to fear. Artificial intelligence and these products do all the work. Don't settle for less. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. There will be no This Day next Monday. Instead, we're showing 3 movies, special President's Day movies. That's going to be February 16th, starting with My Sister Eileen at 8:30 a.m., heading over to 12 p.m., I'll See You in My Dreams with Doris Day. And then rounding out the day, we've got California's Gold at 5 p.m. And that's going to be again next Monday, no This Day. Folks, we might get a little bit of rain coming in around midnight tonight and staying with us till about 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that shouldn't affect most people, other than sound of rain at night is kind of nice. So light showers peeking in, coming through, and clearing out by Thursday. Today's high is going to be about 64 degrees, low of 50, so bundle up if you go outside. Tomorrow we've got music lovers and St. George Church here with me, and hopefully you'll be back here as well. That's going to do it for this episode of This Day, and from all of us here, of course, we wish yours a beautiful one.